Hello, friends. This is Susan Haywards here, also known as Kate. I am going to teach you guys how to do chop block editing, since a lot of you guys have been asking me how to do that. And chop block editing is very simple. It's used in a lot of different music videos, movies, things like that. Chop block editing is basically this. I use it in a lot of my videos, and it's basically this.
That for that do, that the big dollars.
So do you see how quickly that went? If you watch it again, do you see how it moves quickly? Like it's chopped?
That for that do, that the big dollars. Happy.
Well, I am about to teach you that effect. So what you want to do is you want to have a computer. You also want to have Adobe Premiere. I'm running Adobe Premiere CC 2019, so I'm not exactly sure how to run it on CS6 or any version below 11. But if you run Adobe Premiere 11, 12, and the recent 13, then the format of this will definitely look the same. So what you want to do is you want to open it up, import as much media as you want. As for me, I have 215 items here. Mostly I work with old films, as you can definitely see. They're a lot simpler to sample, which I'll be teaching you how to film sample and how to create a chop block editing style that can incorporate a lot of different films, not just one. And also I want to teach you an effect that I use a lot in my videos called coloring. Coloring basically looks like this. So how did I manage to get that? So we're going to teach you also how to do this type of effect. Again, very simple once you figure it out. So what we have here is we're going to sample from a movie called The Amazing Mrs. Holiday. It's a Deanna Durbin film. It was made in the early 40s. And so what we've got here is we've got a couple clips down here, if you all can see. Now notice that these clips, if you zoom out, it looks like nothing is there. But when you zoom in, they're very, very small. Now, I'll show you exactly how to create this effect here. So we have here a scene. So film sampling is very, very important when it comes to these things, and so is the mark in and the mark out button. So what you want to look for are scenes that you think that are the same scene, but scenes that go chop, 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 chop. Let me give you an example. Okay, do you see how quick I stopped and started it? Very, very simple, okay? So now, as soon as you do that, we're going to zoom it up this way so you can see. Stop at the same time. God, let me try that one more time. Okay, so we have that, and we're going to zoom it down. Now, this is where chop editing is very important. Now, you see how it doesn't look very choppy? Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take this, take the end, screw it down, take it again, and zoom it down. Do you see how it looks a little bit more choppy now? Okay, that's it. Okay. Each little bit is very important of the scene. All right, let me make that a little bit tinier. And that looks a lot choppier. See how it looks better? Okay, that's how you film sample. So you keep doing that. Now, if a scene is too long, you chop it down. Okay. This is very simple. It can work with any footage. So if you have footage that you need to go ahead and plop in, like normal footage, it could also work with that as well. I just happen to use pre-made. It's just a lot easier to do. Okay. All right, now, when we're going to look at this, we're going to go from the beginning. So I want you to see how choppy it looks. Do you see how choppy it looks? Let's try it one more time. Okay, so that's called film sampling. Okay, and the way you do it in the chop block editing. Again, very, very simple. So it looks like it is a little time consuming. It is, because you have to stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. And that is how you do chop block editing. Okay, very simple, not that long at all. Now, what is also really cool, that if you want to repeat a sequence, like what I do, in a video that I did for a artist who needed a music video. Now, do you see how I repeat it? Alright, I could teach you about overlays later. So what I like to do is create sequences, okay? So you're gonna highlight the entire thing here. You're gonna right click, nest sequence. What does nesting do? It copies the entire thing for you, okay? So when you nest it, it's just that thing that you just made, okay? And you see how it's in green here? Well, if you want to repeat it, you go Command Copy, Paste. All right. Save it before anything happens. And the best thing about that, once they're in the sequence, is you can either speed them up or you can slow them down. So that would be pretty awesome there. So that's the best thing about making sequences. I make sequences because I have a lot of footage to work with. Now, if you want to do this with different films, this is pretty simple. So you're going to do that. So we're going to use our Seasons 19. Okay, we're going to have to format this one. This one's already pre-made and pre-done. So we're going to go here. Okay, we're going to chop it down. See, it kind of looks a little choppy. Okay, I'm just using this as an example. See how it kind of looks a little choppy there? Yeah, Susan Hayward looks extremely... That's chopped right there. This is... Alrighty. So let me show you how to make chopped with different movies. That's how you do chopped with different movies. You just do the same thing that you did, except with different films. And if you want to create a sequence with that, you go to right-click Nest. Now, the fun part. Coloring, I call it. Now, if you have a Mac, this will be very simple. If you have a PC, sure. I'm not exactly sure what commands to use. But for Mac, you're going to hold down the Option key, drag 1, 2, 3. Okay? So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Click the first one, go to Effects Panel, type in Arithmetic. Okay? Don't do compound arithmetic. Just use the first one. Okay. Listen carefully, because if you don't listen to these instructions, it could go wrong very, very quickly, and you're going to be like, whoa, this effect is not what I bargained for. So let me show you. Drag Arithmetic to the first one. Go down. This is where it gets very important. Okay? Click Linear Dodge. And I tell you this because this is how I figured it out. Now, there are 3 buttons here. There's red, green, and blue. You're going to do this individually with the first 3, okay? So the first one, you're going to do max. Put it all the way drag the red all the way to where the max, okay? Click the second one. Don't do it on the same one, okay? So click the second clip, drag Arithmetic, drop it, go down to max again, and go to Linear Dodge again, add. Go to the green value, drag it all the way up to the medium. Do you see how it's a different color? And you'll be like, why is it a different color, Kate? Well, you'll see it in a second. Go Arithmetic again to the third one. Go down, max, drag it. Okay, now, do you see how it went back to the original color? Okay, great. So you guys see that. So we're going to go down one more time. Now, do you see how it gives me a little bit of a lighter color? Okay. Now, this is where it gets interesting. You're going to go click on the first one. Drag the position on the left to the left. Oh my goodness, it moved. Oh my goodness, Kate, it moved. It's supposed to, okay? Click the second one underneath it. Do the same thing, but move it to the right, okay? And you can mix up the colors the first, second, and third, okay? Now, once you got all those, you highlight the first three, right-click, nest again. Yes. And there you go. You have your coloring, and you have your chop block editing. Alrighty, well, that's what I've got now. So, I hope that you guys enjoyed the stream, and I hope you liked it.